welcome. I've been lucky in that I've had my hands on several great beginner-friendly keyboards. The Portico, which I'll be giving away soon, tap the sub button or comment if you want to know when, and I'll pin a comment in this video. The NK65, which has been on my desk ever since I built it and was reviewed here. And now the KBD67 Lite Round 2. The 67 Lite is an excellent entry-level board that's easy on the wallet, easy to build, and has plenty of color options. And it gives you a really great keyboard when you're done. We chose the classy two-tone option for this build. Let's see why this board should be on your must-have list. Welcome to Stupid Bullets Tech. Opening up the box for the 67 has you greeted with a decent case, especially for the price of only $109. I'd like to see an option here where you could exclude these cases though and save a few dollars, as not everyone needs one. Inside the box you'll get the bottom case, some well-cut foam, the PCB, which now has Gator-on hot swap sockets instead of the standard Kale sockets, a silicone mute piece which is surprisingly well made, an injection molded polycarbonate plate which requires no standoffs, and the top half of the case. In addition to those parts, KBD has included stabilizer pads and a complete set of screw and stabs that are KBD branded but could easily pass for a high quality option. Overall, I was surprised at not only the quality of the components, but the thought process that went into the kit. This board is also able to be made into a wireless model, although you will have to buy a battery which should run less than 10 bucks. The first thing you want to do with this or any keyboard build is to test the PCB. You can plug it in and pull up VIA or keyboardtester.com, and a few moments of checking now will save you grief later. Bad PCBs are rare, but it does happen. The next thing I do is test fit all the pieces together and make sure I have everything I need. If it all looks like it's going to work, I start out with stabilizers. Typically, I replace stabs included with kits, as better options are not expensive and they make a big difference. But after looking at the ones included with the 67 Lite, I decided to use them and I wasn't disappointed. I also used the stabilizer pads that are included with the kit. They work really well and are better than a typical Band-Aid mod. I've become a huge fan of XHT BDZ lube for stab wires. While pricey, very little is needed and it works well. All lube, by the way, was provided by our online store, stupidbulletstech.com. If you need lube, there's a link below. Once the stabs are wire balanced and lubed, they get installed. I used XHT on the wires and 205 on the housings. The silicone pad comes next and then the plate. I did assemble this board several times and decided on a PE foam mod, as I like the way it sounded better with it than without it. This is an easy mod to do, and there's tons of tutorials on YouTube to make it simple. Just remember to punch holes where the center alignment pins go. And a word of caution here, the Tempest or tape mod is really becoming popular, but I've already seen more than one PCB damaged by this. If you try this method, do some research. Screwing the assembly together gets you ready to install switches. If you've seen my past videos, you know I'm a huge fan of the Gazzew U4T Thock Switches. So when I was given the opportunity to try his brand new linear versions, I jumped on it. The only lube that's been done to these is on the spring bottom. They're that good. It's rare that I find a switch that I don't lube, and I may try a very light coat of 3203 on the rails later, but I simply did not think they needed it now. If you like a deeper sounding switch like the U4T Thocks, but prefer linears, these are great. Plus, they look pretty damn good too. Mine are a clear top version, but they're also available in a full pink housing soon. Mounting the switches is simple, but as with all hot swap boards, supporting the back of the socket when installing them is a good idea. Sometimes this can be done with the PCB flat, but because of the battery connector on the 67, a thumb on the back side of the PCB is all that's needed. Once the switches are installed, there are only a few steps left. The case foam goes below the PCB in the bottom housing. If you have any trouble keeping the case foam aligned, I suggest turning it over and installing the bottom case on top. This assures everything stays in place. Case foam can affect the sound of a board, and I like this board with it installed. After that, putting the top case on and screwing everything together is as simple as 8 screws and a Torx bit. If you don't have one, KBD has included a tool that works just fine. KBD was also smart enough to use screw inserts where others do not, but caution is always good with these small screws, as over-tightening is easy to do. At this point, I would suggest testing all of the switches before putting on keycaps. If you have a bent pin, now's the time to fix it. If all's good, keycaps are next. I chose GMK Ashes to go along with the dual gray colorway of the board, and I quite like how it looks. My caps came with a very bent spacebar. This happens from time to time with plastic caps, even with GMK sets. But a quick email and a photo to the vendor, Project Keyboards, had a new one on the way to me, and I appreciate the good customer service. After a quick sound test, I'll tell you how our giveaways work if you're interested, along with some other information you may find helpful. All in all, I'm impressed with this board for the price, and I would suggest it to anyone looking for a really nice board for a first-time build, or even someone who wants a nice 65% board and doesn't want to spend hundreds of dollars. 65s are my go-to for gaming and are great for most tasks, and if you don't own one, now's your chance. As for those giveaways, we do those every other week live in stream. In addition to Twitch giveaways, we do giveaways here on YouTube. Hit the sub button if you want to know when. And we've started giveaways in both our community and our store Discords, sponsored by the store. We give away keyboards, mice, microphone, lubes, switches, and have even given away a couple of Go XLRs for special occasions. I hope you're able to join us. Links below to our socials and such. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, be good to yourselves.